Throughout history, countless individuals have shaped the world in different ways: leaders, scholars, warriors, and explorers. When people think of great explorers, names like Marco Polo or Christopher Columbus often come to mind. Yet long before global travel became common, the Islamic world produced one of the most extraordinary travelers in history, Ibn Battuta. Born in 1304 in Tangier, Morocco, Ibn Battuta came from a family of Islamic scholars belonging to the Lawata Berber tribe. His upbringing was rooted in education, particularly in Islamic law, and he was expected to follow a respectable path as a judge. But something inside him refused to settle for a predictable life. There was a deeper urge, one that called him far beyond the borders of Morocco. At just 21 years old, he made a decision that would change his life forever. He would leave home to perform the Hajj pilgrimage to Mecca. What was meant to be a journey of about 16 months would instead become a 24-year odyssey across continents. The first steps into the unknown. Unlike many travelers of his time, Ibn Battuta did not begin his journey with a large caravan or companions. He set out alone, driven by determination and faith. His early route took him along the North African coast, passing through cities like Tlemcen, Béjaïa, and Tunis, where he paused for some time before continuing. By 1326, he reached Alexandria in Egypt, a city that would shape his destiny in unexpected ways. There, he encountered spiritual figures who encouraged his journey. One of them interpreted his dreams as a sign that he was meant to travel the world, while another told him he would visit distant lands like India and China. These encounters didn't just inspire him, they reinforced his belief that his journey had a greater purpose. From Alexandria, he moved to Cairo, one of the most powerful cities of the Islamic world at the time. After exploring the region, he attempted to reach Mecca via the Red Sea, but was forced to turn back due to unrest. Undeterred, he redirected his path through Syria. The pilgrimage fulfilled. Traveling through cities like Jerusalem, Hebron, and Damascus, Ibn Battuta immersed himself in both spiritual and cultural experiences. He stayed in Damascus during Ramadan, deepening his connection to his faith before continuing onward. Finally, after months of travel and setbacks, he reached Mecca. Completing his pilgrimage earned him the title of Haji, a respected honor among Muslims. For many, this would have marked the end of the journey, a return home, a life resumed. But for Ibn Battuta, it was only the beginning. Choosing the road over home. Instead of returning to Morocco, Ibn Battuta made a bold choice: he would continue exploring. He joined caravans heading into Iraq and Persia, visiting important cities such as Najaf, Basra, Isfahan, Shiraz, and Baghdad. Along the way, he encountered rulers, scholars, and influential figures, including the Mongol leader Abu Sa'id. But even when traveling with powerful companions, Ibn Battuta often chose independence. He would leave groups behind, taking new routes simply to see more of the world. This pattern became a defining feature of his journey. He was not just traveling for destinations, but for discovery itself, across Africa and the Arabian Seas. After returning to Mecca for another stay, Ibn Battuta expanded his travels even further. He journeyed through Yemen and along the East African coast, visiting cities like Mogadishu, Mombasa, and Kilwa. These regions were thriving centers of trade, culture, and Islamic influence. Ibn Battuta documented their wealth, architecture, and diverse societies, offering rare insights into parts of the world that were largely unknown to others at the time. From Africa, he sailed back toward Oman and continued moving between regions, often returning to Mecca between journeys, a central hub in his travels. Into Anatolia and the lands of the Mongols. His journey next took him into Anatolia, modern-day Turkey, where he explored cities such as Konya, Bursa, and Ephesus. The region was politically fragmented, yet culturally vibrant. From there, he ventured into the territories of the Golden Horde, traveling through Central Asia. He reached cities like Bukhara and Samarkand, both major centers of learning and trade along the Silk Road. During this phase, Ibn Battuta also traveled to Constantinople, modern-day Istanbul, where he met the Byzantine Emperor Andronikos III and visited the iconic Hagia Sophia. His ability to move between Islamic and non-Islamic worlds highlighted both his adaptability and the interconnected nature of medieval societies. India, opportunity and danger. One of the most significant chapters of his journey began when he arrived in India. In Delhi, he met Sultan Muhammad bin Tughlaq, a powerful and unpredictable ruler. Impressed by Ibn Battuta, the Sultan appointed him as a Qadi. This position brought wealth and status, but also challenges. The cultural and religious differences in India made it difficult for him to fully implement Islamic law outside the Sultan's court. His time in India was far from peaceful. He faced political instability, was once kidnapped by rebels, and often found himself navigating dangerous situations. Eventually, the Sultan assigned him to join a diplomatic mission to China, a task that would lead to yet another unpredictable journey. Shipwrecks, pirates, and the Maldives. On his way to China, Ibn Battuta encountered a series of setbacks. Ships were destroyed, companions disappeared, and plans fell apart. At one point, he was stranded in southern India with no clear path forward. He then spent several months in the Maldives, where he was once again appointed as a chief judge. However, his strict enforcement of Islamic practices caused tensions with local communities, leading to his resignation. From there, he traveled to Sri Lanka, Southeast Asia, and eventually continued toward China despite repeated obstacles, including pirate attacks and shipwrecks. Reaching the Far East. In 1345, Ibn Battuta finally arrived in China. He visited major cities such as Quanzhou, Guangzhou, Hangzhou, and even reached Beijing. China impressed him deeply. He described its cities as some of the largest and most organized he had ever seen. He interacted with Muslim communities there and was welcomed by local authorities. Despite the vast distance from his homeland, Ibn Battuta continued to adapt, observe, and document everything he encountered. The long road home. After decades of travel, Ibn Battuta began his journey back to Morocco in 1346. His return was not straightforward. Along the way, he encountered the devastating Black Death, which forced him to pause his travels multiple times. When he finally arrived in Tangier in 1349, he was met with heartbreaking news. His mother had passed away just months before his return, and his father had died years earlier. After 24 years away, he had returned home, but the life he once knew no longer existed. A restless spirit that never settled. Even after returning, Ibn Battuta could not remain still. He traveled again to Spain, across North Africa, and deep into the Mali Empire in West Africa. His journey through Mali offered rare insights into African kingdoms, trade routes, and cultures that were largely undocumented by outsiders. Eventually, in 1354, he returned to Morocco for the final time after being summoned by the Sultan. The legacy of the Rihla. At the Sultan's request, Ibn Battuta dictated his experiences to a scholar, creating a detailed travel account known as the Rihla, the Journey. This work became one of the most important historical records of the medieval world. It provided detailed descriptions of societies, economies, cultures, and political systems across Africa, the Middle East, Asia, and Europe. By the time of his death in 1369, Ibn Battuta had traveled over 120,000 kilometers, far more than any other explorer of his era. Why Ibn Battuta still matters today? Ibn Battuta's story is not just about distance, it's about perspective. He lived in a time when travel was dangerous, slow, and uncertain, yet he chose to keep going. He faced illness, robbery, political conflict, and loss, but never allowed those challenges to define his limits. In many ways, his journey represents something timeless, the human desire to explore, to understand, and to push beyond what is known. While others may have discovered new lands, Ibn Battuta connected worlds. He didn't just travel through history, he recorded it, preserved it, and gave future generations a window into a global society long before globalization existed. And perhaps that's why his legacy endures. Not just as a traveler, but as one of the greatest witnesses to the world in motion. Ibn Battuta didn't just travel the world, he showed how far curiosity and courage can take you. His journey reminds us the world is bigger than we think, and so is our potential. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe.